In this audio guide, I will look at some of the features of the full repairing and insuring lease style. First, as with other styles contained on this website, the lease forms part of a package of complementary styles designed to speed up commercial property transactions. In the case of the lease, the package consists of the full repairing and insuring lease itself, heads of terms, and style reports for initially the tenant. In this package, the order of points and numbering is consistent between all of these documents. So, if I open the heads of terms, and look at the order of points contained in Part B, you'll see that it appears in the following sequence: landlord, tenant, property, and so on. And looking further down the heads of terms, 3.1 rent, 3.2 rent reviews, 4.1 other payments due by the tenant, and so on. The order of numbering used here exactly matches the order of numbering in the lease and heads of terms. The advantages to this are both landlord and tenant clients will themselves be able to make more sense of the lease documents, and professionals can more quickly prepare the style lease from the heads of terms and reports from the lease. I'll now open the draft lease itself. A second feature of this package is the intention to insure the form of lease. Whilst intended to be a full repairing and insuring lease, nevertheless already includes many of the standard tenant revisions commonly made by tenant solicitors. This reflects the ethos of the network styles in seeking to make transactions happen quickly. I can show you some examples of where this approach has been followed through into the drafting of one individual clause of the lease. Clause 5 contains the landlord's insurance obligations. As drafted, the landlord must insure the property for full reinstatement value and against a defined list of insured risks. This contrasts with some of the default wording to be found in FRI leases, where the landlord has no specific obligation to insure against such a defined list. Clause 5.2 requires the landlord to use reasonable endeavours to endorse the tenant's interest on the insurance policy and to waive subrogation rights. Clause 5.3 requires the landlord to provide a copy of the insurance policy to the tenant upon request. Again, some FRI leases will not contain these provisions, and by adding in these clauses in the first draft, landlords may be able to speed up transaction times and control legal costs. Clearly, this style lease will not suit every landlord, and changes will need to be made to individual clauses. Individual solicitors will have their own views on the particular wording used and may have improvements to suggest. All users are encouraged to post their comments on the styles to the discussion forums which apply to each individual style. Listen to the separate audio guide for use of the forum.